and let's try and squeeze in this presentation. At least I saw her. She's somewhere here. She's, Juliana, can I get Noane here? I know she was somewhere. Nicholas, where is my boss? My other boss? Uh-huh. All right. So as we do this, the reason we want to do this, since we're here, it's very important that we at least begin the conversation on how we can explore the opportunities within tourism. But this specific keynote will be speaking to regional tourism. And time allowing, we'll have a regional conversation with representatives of Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, and Kenya that will be speaking to us on what they're doing to ensure that we collaborate and partner together to drive regional tourism. And if I could get my UNDP resident rep to come, we'll use this stage, don't you worry. Or do you want to test the other one? But it will be unfair. Please come here. The light is here, all right? She's one of our biggest development partners on matters tourism. She's a big advocate for our Elgon Marathon, and they continue to partner with us on the Elgon Half Marathon, working with our very own champion, Cheptegei. And she is almost, and I think the PS is about to give her a Ugandan name. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I want to invite Miss Noane to come. If I interrupt you, it's not because I want to, it's because I must, right? But I see a bit of movement. So I'll allow you give between the 5 and 10, please come. And feel free, you could be mobile, you could stay there, it's up to you. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our UNDP resident representative. Big round of applause.
Thank you, Maurice. I'm going to run through this because I'm cognizant of the fact that we have the big boss coming. So, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Honorable Martin Mugabe Dunka, Minister of State for Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities, Honorable Minister himself for Tourism, Honorable Ministers from Kenya, Rwanda and Tanzania, the Permanent Secretary of Ministry of Tourism, officials of the government of Uganda, ambassadors, honorary consuls, and members of the diplomatic corps, colleagues from the United Nations family, private sector leaders, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to you all. On behalf of the United Nations Development Program and the wider United Nations family, I'm honored to join you at the 10th Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo. A decade of Poate is a milestone worth celebrating. So congratulations to the Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities, Uganda Tourism Board, Uganda Tourism Association, and all key stakeholders. As I drove here this morning, I reflected on words that is at the heart of this year's Poate, Wanderlust. It's quietly powerful and speaks to something deeply human. The desire to discover, to connect, to see the world through eyes other than our own. Uganda, blessed with the warm generosity of its people, extraordinary biodiversity, a vibrant cultural mosaic, and some of the most spectacular landscapes on the continent, is the perfect setting for a conversation about what tourism, if done right, can do for humanity. But today I want to go beyond the wanderer. I want to talk about the people who make the journey possible. And the numbers tell a compelling story. So let's begin with the facts, because they are genuinely encouraging. In 2025, international visitor arrivals surged past 1.5 billion, up from 1.46 billion in 2024, effectively recovering pre-pandemic levels after 4 difficult years. International tourism receipts also grew by approximately 6% USD, 1.844 billion. The industry supported a total of 366 million and accounted for 1 in 3 new jobs created globally. Africa stood out. The continent welcomed over 81 million international visitors, a 16.7% increase above pre-pandemic levels. Tourism receipts reached USD 46.7 billion, accounting for nearly half of the continent's service exports. The industry contributed to USD 2 to 8 billion to the continent's gross domestic product and supported 30.2 million jobs. The picture is equally encouraging across the East African community. Tourism contributes an average of 9.5% to regional gross domestic product, 17% to foreign exchange earnings, and 7.1% to employment. The East African tourist visa and the expansion of one-stop border posts are creating seamless travel corridors, and multi-destination itineraries are becoming the norm. Uganda's story is equally compelling. Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities performance data for 2025 reveals strong post-pandemic recovery, with international visitor arrivals surging to over 1.642 million, while domestic tourism participation reached 3.27 million Ugandans. Tourism receipts reached USD 1.62 billion in 2025, making the industry one of Uganda's leading export and forex earners. The sector also supported about 7.5% of national employment and accounted for 5.9% of the country's GDP. It is at this point that you clap for Uganda. But the ground beneath is not that stable. And I will tell you why. Tourism is a fragile industry. Climate change is reshaping the very foundation on which East African tourism is built. East Africa's crown jewels, the glaciers of the Ruwenzori Mountains and Kilimanjaro, are shrinking at an alarming rate. Rising temperatures, altered rainfall patterns, and extreme weather events threaten the viability of our most valuable tourist attractions. The African Union State of Africa's Environment 2025 warns that climate-driven shifts could force mass displacement, fundamentally altering the landscapes on which this industry depends. Health outbreaks remain a persistent parallel threat. COVID-19, which effectively shut down the sector overnight, taught us that with brutal clarity. A single outbreak does not merely deter tourists, it can erase years of marketing investment in weeks. And yet our health system, particularly our border entry points, remain stretched. There is also a deeper structural challenge. Too often, tourism revenues flow to capital cities, to large operators, to foreign-owned lodges, while the communities living alongside the gorilla sanctuaries, the national parks, and the cultural sites see little or minimal benefit. And when local communities are not genuine beneficiaries of tourism, conservation becomes a contest rather than a shared commitment, and the sector's long-term future is quietly undermined. So allow me to speak about border communities, because they sit at the heart of this conversation and yet rarely at its center. Africa's borderlands are home to more than 270 million people. That is nearly 1 in 5 Africans. These regions sit at the crossroads of trade, culture, and movement. They are in many respects the original architects of the cross-border exchange that tourism is trying to replicate. And yet they remain, as UNDP's Africa Borderland Center has documented extensively, among the most underinvested communities on the continent. Poverty rates in African borderlands are typically 20 to 30% higher than national averages. Infrastructure lags significantly behind urban centers. Access to electricity, healthcare, and markets remain limited. At UNDP, we see them differently. We see them as frontiers of opportunity. Take Uganda's Karamoja region, which shares the border with Kenya's West Pokot. Beautiful white plains, spectacular escarpments, ancient rock art, and a living pastoral culture that itself is a tourism asset of considerable value if given the chance. These communities carry deep knowledge, rich cultures, and remarkable resilience. They live beside some of East Africa's most striking landscapes. The question is not whether there is value there. The question is whether we have the imagination and the will to invest in them. So what do we know works? At UNDP, we know that our engagement in tourism is grounded in a simple conviction. Development that does not reach the most vulnerable is not development at all. We work at the intersection of economic growth, climate resilience, and inclusive governance. Tourism sits squarely in that space. We know from UNDP's work across the continent that when communities are genuine stakeholders in tourism, such as lead-guided experiences, suppliers of produce to hotels, they own lodges and sit on park management boards, the conservation outcomes improves. Revenues are retained locally, and tourism becomes genuinely transformative. Uganda's model of community-based conservation is a case in point. A share of park revenues flows directly to surrounding villages, the result of deliberate policy choice. Uganda's mountain gorilla population has grown to over 1,000 individuals. This is not a coincidence. It is the result of deliberate policy choice. Conservation and community benefit from working together. With UNDP's support, the sub-national governments of West Pokot in Kenya and Karamoja in Uganda developed the first ever Borderlands SDG investor map, a practical tool that identifies commercially viable, market-ready investment opportunities in the cross-border region. Sustainable tourism features prominently. Guided cultural experiences, eco-lodges, and multi-day circuits that generate income for communities while protecting the very assets on which that income depends. This is not charity. It is a business case. So we've identified 4 priorities of what we consider will make for a resilient, inclusive tourism industry. So if we're serious about building tourism that survives the shocks ahead and shares its rewards more broadly, these 4 areas I mentioned demand our focused attention. First, invest in nature and culture as economic infrastructure. Our natural and cultural assets are not a backdrop to tourism. They are its foundation. Governments across the EAC must accelerate investment in conservation, protected area management, and cultural heritage preservation. Uganda's gorilla population success did not happen by accident. It must not be taken for granted. Second, diversify and go digital. We must move beyond the traditional safari. East Africa's rich cultural heritage, culinary traditions, adventure offerings, and community-based experiences are waiting to be discovered. We must invest in digital platforms that connect rural tour operators to global markets and ensure that connectivity, power, and water infrastructure follow. Third, plan for shocks before they arrive. Every major destination in this region needs a tourism shock response protocol. Diversified source markets, health preparedness at entry points, rapid communication with the private sector, and social protection for tourism workers who are the first to lose their livelihoods when arrivals fall. Fourth, make border communities the business case, not the afterthought. Every border post is not just a checkpoint. It is a marketplace of ideas, culture, and commerce. The Borderlands SDG investor map shows that there is real commercial return in investing in borderland tourism when communities are co-owners and co-beneficiaries. Development finance institutions, private investors, and governments have the tools. What is missing is capital and confidence. Let us provide both. So let me close with a direct call to everyone in this room, to governments. Allocate boldly protect your natural and cultural assets as the economic infrastructure they are. Harmonize your visa and border policies with your neighbors, and ensure that tourism revenues reach the communities that make tourism possible. To the private sector, look beyond the lodges in Kampala and the camps in Burundi. The next frontier of African tourism is the borderlands, the cultural heartlands, the communities that have been waiting for investment. The returns are there, and so is the impact. To development partners and financiers, use tools such as the SDG Investor Map to move capital to where it is needed most. Blend your finance, take the risks that unlock markets and measure success not only by bed night field, but by livelihoods improved. And to the communities at the heart of this story, your cultures, your landscapes, your knowledge, and your resilience are the greatest tourism assets in the world. You deserve to be owners of this industry, not just its backdrop. So get involved actively and make tourism work for your communities. The Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo is not just a trade show. It is a statement of intent. Please, let us make it count. Thank you.
Another round of applause for just a quick one. So I will allow that the screen will find me. You can continue looking at the front. That's a beautiful set. Can we appreciate the UTB representative once more, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you so much for setting the stage for what will be the conversation for the next 3 days. It started this morning and we had several panel sessions, but a very quick note to the team that was handling the film session. You were cut short and we apologize. That session will happen after lunch. Immediately we depart, there's lunch, and then you can continue with that session. So I'm hoping the panel, plus those of you who are attending, the delegates attending that particular session, of course that's the reason Uncle Mo is here, it makes sense. Please go back and complete the conversation. It will be nice to ensure all of you are part of that. We appreciate all the different panelists this morning who are part of the several sessions happening. There was an aviation session, and it was the very first time I was finally seeing our CEO of Uganda Airlines, and I'm waiting for a photo moment with our CEO. So cameraman, when you see me walk there, please. But a very quick note, we may not do certain things while our chief guest is here, and I'm still buying time. Shortly, I may or may not invite our regional representatives to make their statements or presentations on regional tourism. But as we do that, I wanted in a special way to welcome visitors. So if a visitor and you're here, please stand. We want to appreciate you. We will behave like a church, recognizing their visitors. If you're here and you're not from the Ugandan borders, even if you're from, my brother here is from Mombasa, you are clearly a visitor. So please stand. Visitors, we want to appreciate you for joining us. All the visitors coming into Uganda, can we give them a warm hand clap, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Powate, Karibu, Uganda. Thank you so much. Please take your seats. So neighbors, please tell your visitor, the one you've noted is next to you, that there is two things they must experience while they're here in Uganda. One is Uganda Waraji. Oh, sorry, Canon, I apologize. Canon Susan Mwezi, I apologize. Okay, the first thing you must experience, not the Uganda Waraji. Let me talk about... This man was bribed by some people, especially the church. Let me start with the most important one. If you're here and you haven't tasted the Ugandan pineapple, I don't know what you've been eating. I don't know what you've been eating. I don't know who you're talking to, who is your friend. If you have a Ugandan friend and they haven't given you a Ugandan pineapple, I don't know what they're telling you. Please change their number in your phone and put somebody else. You can have mine. And the other experience I want you to, at least, because you may not be able to get out of Kampala, is taste the Ugandan coffee. please, drink Ugandan coffee. And we have experiential coffee. I know Inspire Africa is somewhere at the end of this tent. If you can't, please get a moment to pick a Ugandan coffee. And I'm looking at protocol, and I still think I have a couple of minutes. Okay. And finally, since we are by the lakeside, if you're here and you haven't tested the tilapia, I don't know what you've been eating while you're here in Kampala. It's the best fish you'll ever have in the world from our freshwater lakes. And you can never get this anywhere in the world. And I know my team Kenya is looking at me and saying, in Kisumu we also have the tilapia. I know. But so allow me, ladies and gentlemen, I think it will be unfair if I don't allow, on behalf of Team Kenya, the PS Tourism Kenya is here, and it's only right that we allow him to say something. So, Honorable, we give you a few minutes on the other side. Please, Salamia Watu, speak about partnerships and why regional tourism is critical for all of us. Can we ensure there's a mic up there for the PS Tourism Kenya? Makofi ya PS, ladies and gentlemen, let's appreciate the PS of the Republic of Kenya. Let's ensure there's a mic there. We want to give him. Yes, is there a mic, PS, there? Okay, we are bringing one there. So as the PS is there, can I see Team Kenya? Team Kenya, stand up. So that he knows he has a team that is here with him. Team Kenya, please stand for recognition. Team Kenya, karibu, welcome. Thank you for coming. And okay, the PS has a mic there. Thank you. PS, over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Distinguished participants, senior officials from Uganda and from all other countries represented here, all participants to this very important tourism expo, which is the Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo. Good afternoon. How are you? Can you say hi? Hi. First and foremost, as has been said, my name is John Ololtua. I'm the PS, or Principal Secretary, for tourism in the Republic of Kenya. Let me take this opportunity first and foremost to appreciate the people and the government of Uganda for welcoming us to the Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo. Secondly, let me take this opportunity also to commend you for organizing this amazing expo, which is an equivalent of the Magical Kenya Travel Expo in Kenya, and which is bringing together people from the East African region and from other regions in Africa to be able to work together. As you know, tourism is a unifying factor across the world. It brings people together, and it promotes people-to-people diplomacy. It promotes cultural exchange, but it also promotes trade among people. And so our coming here as Kenya, first and foremost, is to be able to express our togetherness with our neighbors, Uganda. In fact, Uganda is our #2 source market for tourism, or for visitors who come particularly for leisure. But in Africa, it's #1. In fact, in 2025, by end of last year, 2025, we had received over 234,000 Ugandan tourists visiting Kenya. We also have worked very closely together, especially along the Kenyan coast, where we have the Uganda-Kenya Tourism Corporation, where we have been having a lot of exchanges together in terms of the conference that have been taking place and also the farm trips that we have been undertaking together. And so we are very proud to be here and to join you. And as I conclude, we are here because we want to promote one another. We have not come here to compete. We have come here to ensure that across the East African region and across all the other countries who are represented here, we are working together to ensure that tourism flourishes across the region. And so let's be happy, let's enjoy. Personally, I'm already enjoying visiting a nice places here in Uganda. And I'm sure every other country who is represented here is quite happy. You're most welcome to Kenya. For those of you who have not come to Kenya, let me take this opportunity on behalf of the government of Kenya and the Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife, particularly my Minister, Honorable Rebecca Miano, to welcome all of you to Kenya. Kenya, hakuna matata. Hakuna matata. Hakuna matata. So, thank you so much.
Please remain standing. We'll have the anthems as soon as His Excellency is settled in. Please remain standing, ladies and gentlemen.
We'll have the Ugandan national anthem and the East African anthem. you very much. Please do take your seats. Your Excellency, with your permission, allow me invite one of us, one of the key stakeholders in the tourism sector, Ms. Sivi Tumusime, to come and lead us in a word of prayer. You will remain seated because, Your Excellency, I can't guarantee she will have a short prayer. This might be extremely long. So, Ms. Sivi, that's not saying, please come and dedicate this, the Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo 2026, to the Almighty God.
Let's humble ourselves in prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you for a beautiful day. We thank you for our country, Uganda, and its natural resources, Lord. We thank you for providence. We thank you, Lord, that we were born and we were Ugandan. We thank you for bestowing unto us a great country and for us to be its children and its grandchildren. We want to thank you for the tourism industry. We thank you, Heavenly Father, that you continue to bless us through this industry to showcase Uganda's beauty across the world. We ask for a beautiful day today. We thank you, Lord, for His Excellency, the President, and we ask, Lord, that you continue to anoint him as he leads this country. We pray for all the stakeholders. We cover them with your precious blood, and we ask that in our coming, in our going, you continue to be blessed. In Jesus' name I've prayed.
Surely that's not enough for the Almighty God. Can we warmly receive the prayer, ladies and gentlemen? Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, you're most welcome to this, the Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo 2026. And I want now to humbly request our delegates to warmly welcome you. Ladies and gentlemen, can we warmly receive His Excellency the President? I know that the speeches, Your Excellency, have been limited, and so I probably can peep through the CEO's speech and the PS's speech. But Your Excellency, allow me, again, on their behalf and on behalf of the Uganda Tourism Board, congratulate you on a landslide victory in the most recent elections. Can we warmly receive His Excellency the President? And also congratulate you on what was truly a historic and beautiful swearing-in ceremony that we just had. Your Excellency, with us are your former Ministers of Tourism, the Honorable Tom Butime and the Honorable Martin Mugara, but also with us are key stakeholders, including the resident ambassadors and high commissioners who represent their countries here in Uganda, but also the ambassadors of Uganda to the respective countries abroad who have been doing a fantastic job, Your Excellency, in promoting and marketing Destination Uganda. Your Excellency, allow me to recognize a bit of protocol. With your permission, I want in a very special way to recognize the chairperson of the Uganda Tourism Board and her entire board. Please stand for recognition. Can we warmly receive them? Your Excellency, I want to recognize the President of the Uganda Tourism Association, Ms. Yogi Birugwa, and your team. Can you please stand for recognition? Your Excellency, the CEO Uganda Tourism Board, who at this very first Poate is her very first point of duty, and we want to receive her and her executive. Can we warmly receive Juliana Kagwa, ladies and gentlemen? Your Excellency, tourism is multifaceted, and so there's several heads of different associations. CV, who was here, is one of them. So may I request the heads of the different associations of tourism in Uganda, please stand for recognition. You know yourselves. Canon Susan Mwezi from the Hotel Owners Association, and all the other delegates who are here representing the various associations. We want to thank you for joining us today. Your Excellency, we have government agencies that are here that support tourism, your very own National Planning Authority, the State House Investor Protection Unit, and the Presidential CEO Forum. If you could stand, heads of agencies who are here, please stand for recognition so the President knows that you're here supporting. And your very own Ambassador Rosa Malango, Your Excellency, who you made a special advisor on tourism. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to appreciate all the key partners. Your Excellency, amongst us are visiting delegates, but also with us are several heads of delegation. I want in a special way to introduce the Principal Secretary of Tourism from the Republic of Kenya. Please stand so His Excellency can see you. Karibu Uganda. He's heading the Kenyan delegation. We have a team, the Kenyan delegation is here, but also the Rwanda delegation that is led by the Rwanda ambassador to Uganda, the Rwanda High Commissioner. Please stand. We want to appreciate you. We also have the Tanzanian delegation, and I think Mr. Moiga, who is one of the delegates, please stand for recognition that is leading our Tanzania delegation. He should be here, but he's here, and the delegation is represented. And we also have, of course, the Ugandan delegation, Your Excellency, that is led by our permanent secretary, who should also stand so that we recognize that she's the one leading the Ugandan delegation and hosting us with the Uganda Tourism Board. Your Excellency, just very quickly, because we don't have too much time, a bit of information. This particular Expo, Your Excellency, was oversubscribed, with over 1,500 delegates registering to attend. Can we appreciate the Uganda Tourism Board for ensuring this edition was oversubscribed? Your Excellency, we have over 250 trade visitors. These are potential investors in tourism, and we want to appreciate them for joining us. We have over 120 hosted buyers, Your Excellency. They've been here for the last few days touring Uganda, and you can see them. They clearly don't look like us, Your Excellency, and you will know that they are our hosted buyers. Can the hosted buyers who are here please stand for recognition? All the hosted buyers, please stand. Can we appreciate the hosted buyers, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you so much, Your Excellency. We have over 350 exhibitors, and I know due to other protocols, you didn't visit the exhibition. We have over 40 countries represented this year at the 2026 Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo. We have several tourism influencers, and we have partners from across the world. But allow me in a special way, Your Excellency, because you delegated this team to do a fantastic job in promoting Destination Uganda. So I want to request the representatives who are here, but also the heads of mission of the Ugandan missions abroad to stand. The Uganda mission in Nairobi, the Uganda High Commission in Kigali, the Uganda Embassy in Denmark, the Uganda High Commission in London, the Uganda Embassy in Paris, the Uganda Embassy in Brussels, the Uganda Embassy in Tokyo, the Uganda Embassy in Canberra, the Uganda Embassy in Cairo, the Uganda Embassy in Cuba, Havana, Cuba. Please stand as I mention your countries. The High Commission of New Delhi, Uganda's High Commission of New Delhi, the Uganda Embassy in Addis Ababa, the Uganda High Commissioner to Pretoria, the Uganda Consulate in Guangzhou. Your Excellency has done a fantastic job promoting tourism. Uganda's High Commission to Dar es Salaam and the Uganda Consulate in Arusha. All of you, please stand. It will be nice for His Excellency to know you're all here. The Uganda Mission in Geneva, the Embassy in Ankara, Uganda's Embassy in Rome, the Uganda Embassy in Bujumbura, and the Uganda Consulate in Mombasa. Your Excellency, this is just a small but fantastic group of your ambassadors who've done a great job in promoting Destination Uganda. And very quickly, Your Excellency, allow me to recognize these members of the diplomatic corps who are here with us today. The British High Commissioner, please stand for recognition. Of course, the Rwanda High Commissioner, the Venezuelan Embassy representative, the Kenya High Commission, the UNDP, and of course, CBI, which is the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Netherlands. Please stand for recognition so His Excellency knows you're here. Thank you so much. With that said, Your Excellency, allow me to invite our host, the CEO of Uganda Tourism Board, Ms. Juliana Kagwa, to come and make opening remarks. Can we warmly receive Ms. Juliana Kagwa, ladies and gentlemen?
Your Excellency, invited guests, all protocol observed, kindly allow me to stand on the protocol that was observed by our Master of Ceremonies in the interest of time. Please allow me to start by saying, oh, what a day. Your Excellency, the day you agreed to grace us with your presence as a tourism sector is the day that I believe we achieved critical mass in tourism. Through our Honorable Minister, Colonel Butime, we have been pursuing you for a while, Your Excellency, to the point of stalking. But today, you have given us the distinct honor of recognizing that tourism, amongst all the other ATMs, and we are conscious and wary that all of them have a role to play, Your Excellency, in delivering this country to middle income status. Your presence here is a stamp of approval, is a stamp of belief, and is a demonstration not just to Ugandans, but to the international community of your conviction in this tourism agenda we have started. Your Excellency, when the day you accepted, when we came to Cabinet with the honorable ministers and representation from the Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities, you gave us a challenge. And it is that challenge that is going to carry us through the next 10 years of executing the tourism strategy. Ladies and gentlemen, the challenge was, what is different from Uganda and other destinations in the world? You mentioned a few in Europe, smaller destinations in Uganda, less endowed destinations than Uganda. Biodiversity, you can't compare to Uganda's. But what makes them different that they can attract hundreds of millions of tourists a year? I believe France achieved 100 million this year. Spain not far behind with about 90 million plus. And yet the whole of Africa, Your Excellency, continues to bring 80 million thereabouts annually. An entire continent versus one destination in Europe. That is the challenge, Your Excellency, we heard, and that is the challenge we are going to address, starting with the Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo, Your Excellency, where we have a host of international countries represented by hosted buyers coming to interrogate, to immerse, to learn what Uganda has to offer. Your Excellency, we have here today representatives from the furthest locations on the globe. Australia is here. Portugal is here. Brazil is here. Your Excellency, Argentina is here. What about Japan is here? All these countries interested to know what makes Uganda different, and why should people, why should travelers choose Uganda as their next destination? So, Your Excellency, our strategy is well in swing. Our commitment to you and to the government is that we have heard you. Together with the private sector, we are going to collaborate. We are going to innovate. And if nothing else, through sheer passion, we are going to deliver this country to middle income status through tourism. Your Excellency, please, you will allow me to invite my chair, who will introduce her board members and also give her remarks on strategy, and also speak to the great work we've done since COVID. We have fully recovered our numbers and are now surpassing you, Your Excellency, but I would like to invite Madam Chair, Pearl Kakoza, to join me up here and reassure the ladies and gentlemen.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, Honorable Minister of State, ministers present, members of the Diplomatic Corps, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities, the Board of Directors of UTB, CEOs and representatives of MDAs, the public sector, and captains of the tourism industry, distinguished guests, members, exhibitors, and buyers from across the globe, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. It is my honor on behalf of the Board of Uganda Tourism Board to invite you, Your Excellency, to this, our signature event, the Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo. We are exceedingly honored by your presence, Your Excellency. On behalf of my board and on my own behalf, we'd like to congratulate you upon your re-election and also the new Kisanja of no sleeping. In this, you have our support. Can you kindly allow me, Your Excellency, to introduce the members of my board who have helped deliver this Pawate, the Pearl of Africa Tourism 2026. This is our 10th edition. Can I allow me to introduce Madame Olive Lumonya, who's our representative from the Uganda Civil Aviation Authority. There's Madame Margaret Ojara, who is representative from NACAO, the Arts and Crafts Association. We have Mr. Vincent Operemo from the National Planning Authority. Mr. Rashid Kiyemba, who represents the Uganda Hotel Owners Association. Mrs. Sandra Kibirunji, who is the representative from the Ministry of Finance. Mr. Tony Mulinde is a representative from the Association of Uganda Tour Operators. I have my Vice Chair, Mr. Ron Karamara, who represents Trade and Commerce. We also have Mr. Vivian Liazi, who represents the Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Activities. Your Excellency, tourism, as you well know, is a driver of economic force. Through the ATMs under NDP4, we're very, very happy that tourism has finally been put among the 4 pillars of development of this country. To create, as you said in your inaugural speech 2 weeks ago, Your Excellency, to create wealth. Wealth for the citizens of Uganda so that it is a huge economic driver. More than a century ago, Sir Winston Churchill journeyed through this remarkable country of ours and called Uganda the Pearl of Africa. Many of our hosted buyers have never been to our country before, and they have experienced and understood what Sir Winston Churchill saw over a century ago. International tourist arrivals increased by 7.7% from 2024 to 2025. And we like to say that Uganda is ready. We are ready, Your Excellency, to deliver on the strategy of growth. Under the ATMs, all the other sectors were given a 10-fold growth. Tourism has been given a 25-fold growth, which, with the promise of the Kisanja, we are ready to deliver. Can I quote from the tourism statistics, Your Excellency? As per the statistical abstract of 2025, the Tourism and Trends in Statistics, the report that was published by the Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities, that was launched on the 30th of April this year. Uganda has enjoyed a 19.7% increase of tourism arrivals in 2025. The expenditure in 2024 was $4.850 billion Uganda shillings. And in 2025, this grew to 5.829 billion shillings. Our main tourism visitors from the international market are from Europe, which saw a 208% increase, that is 116,000 European visitors. Africa visitors increased by 6%, but constitute 1.3 million visitors. And as you heard, the PS from Kenya, Uganda and Kenya are each other's biggest source market. We'd like to thank the Ministry of Finance for the increase of the 2025-2026 budget by 12%. Your Excellency, under our strategy, we have also received the branding rights under AFCON for Uganda for the year 2026-2027. Through sports tourism, we expect to not even double, but triple the number of our visitors next year because of AFCON 2027. Your Excellency, allow me to thank you once again, to express our deepest appreciation for your support in tourism, and we also look forward to an increase from the Ministry of Finance for our budget to ensure that we can deliver on our strategy. We are committed, we are committed, we are committed, Your Excellency, in promoting tourism together. I say this for God and my country.
Your Excellency, I wanted to mention that there was a dress code. Unfortunately, myself and a couple of ambassadors did not read the cards when we were coming. And the dress code was African wear. I think you've seen the ladies. The lovely ladies look lovely. Can we appreciate UTB for ensuring we came? As you can see, Juliana was representing her people, and Paul, and Your Excellency, please note that I mentioned it the right way. She likes to be called Paul Kakoza, was dressed exactly as her people. But Your Excellency, I mentioned when Juliana said, you're not wearing our dress code, I said it's African cotton. I said it's African cotton. And this is part of the value addition you continue to preach, Your Excellency. So we need to ensure that there's more Ugandan suits that can be made so it can be part of our African culture. Your Excellency, with that said, I want to invite your dear friend, who is an investor in the private sector, but now is the president of the Uganda Tourism Association. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ms. Yogi Birigwa.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, please allow me to follow the protocol already observed. It's my honor and privilege to stand before you today at this very important occasion. I serve as the President of the Uganda Tourism Association, the umbrella body that brings together all private sector tourism trade associations across Uganda. Your Excellency, allow me, on behalf of the entire tourism private sector, to extend our warmest congratulations upon your recent swearing in following a successful election. This milestone reflects the confidence Ugandans have in your leadership. We also wish to sincerely thank you for the peace and stability that Uganda continues to enjoy. Peace is the foundation upon which tourism thrives, and it's because of this stability that we are able to confidently welcome the world to experience the Pearl of Africa. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, we are gathered here not only to celebrate Uganda's beauty, but to unlock the full potential of tourism as a driver of socio-economic transformation. I would like to extend a very warm welcome to our international buyers and partners who have traveled from across the world to participate in the Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo, our flagship tourism trade platform. Poyate continues to create meaningful connections through business-to-business and business-to-consumer engagements, opening doors for partnerships, investments, and a long-term collaboration. Ladies and gentlemen, tourism remains one of the most powerful sectors globally, connecting people, creating jobs, and transforming economies. In Uganda, tourism continues to contribute significantly to GDP, create employment across the value chain, stimulate entrepreneurship, and attract both domestic and international investment. Your Excellency, as the private sector, we are the drivers who convert Uganda's rich tourism potential into real experiences. From tour operators and hoteliers to guides, transport providers, cultural enterprises, and youth and women-led businesses, we are the face of Uganda to the world. Tourism for us is not just an industry. It is livelihoods, opportunity, and national pride. Your Excellency, we appreciate government's continued commitment to tourism development, particularly in marketing, infrastructure, and policy support. We are especially encouraged by your consistent message on empowering the private sector as a key engine of economic growth. In that spirit, Your Excellency, we wish to respectfully remind government of its pledge to support the private sector more directly. As the Uganda Tourism Association, we humbly request the operationalization of a dedicated tourism fund that's accessible to private sector players. Such a fund would enable us to scale up destination marketing, invest in product development, improve standards and quality assurance, and ultimately position Uganda as a more competitive destination within the region and globally. This is not just support, it's an investment in a sector that delivers jobs, foreign exchange, and inclusive growth. Your Excellency, the private sector stands ready to partner with government in delivering Uganda's tourism ambitions. With the right support mechanism in place, we are confident that tourism can become one of the leading contributors to Uganda's economic transformation agenda. To our international buyers and partners, we welcome you and invite you to explore Uganda beyond this expo and build partnerships, experience our diversity, culture, heritage, cuisine, and become ambassadors of the Pearl of Africa. In conclusion, Uganda's tourism story is one of great promise. Together, government and private sector, we can unlock its full potential and secure Uganda's place as a leading destination in Africa. I wish you a successful Poyate 2026 for God and my country.
Your Excellency, Mama Yogi, whenever we have delegations from abroad that are visiting, including our hosted buyers, always hosts them at her lodge just close by. And one of the key highlights, Your Excellency, that she has already served is our tilapia. And Your Excellency, I can mention that every time they go, they now call her Mama Tilapia. So, Your Excellency, that is Ms. Yogi Birgwa. Your Excellency, with us are other key stakeholders in the tourism fraternity. Allow me to recognize, and please stand when I recognize you, the CEO Uganda Airlines, Mr. Gilma Wake. Can we appreciate him, ladies and gentlemen? The Uganda Wildlife Authority Executive Director, Dr. James Musinguzi, and I've seen his chair here also. Thank you so much. We also have the Uganda Hotel and Tourism Training College, Richard Kawere. Please stand for recognition. And Your Excellency, the Chimpanzee Trust Ngamba Islands, please stand. At least I know we have, yes, let's appreciate them. Your Excellency, we requested your team to allow us, at least show you one of our tourism ambassadors, a very young girl who continues to fly Uganda's flag across the country, not just here as a tourism ambassador, but also across the country. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our youngest tourism ambassador, Miss Talia. You're most welcome.
Your Excellency, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, honorable ministers, tourism and conservation leaders, investors, donors, fellow children and youth, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. To our guests, Karibu Ewafe. Thank you to the Pearl of Africa tourism organizers for trusting a 12-year-old voice. Honestly, who am I? But I am reminded of Proverbs chapter 22, verse 29, which says, "Do you see someone skilled in their work? They will serve before kings." That verse has come alive. My name is Talia Birungi Kandole, empako yange Akik. In primary 7 at Trinity Primary School, Bukoto, a senior Little Hands Go Green ambassador, founder of the 1 Million Tree Planting Initiative, and member of the Global Climate Friendly Travel. Here are my Ugandan roots. If I were Ugandan lunch, I would be oburo with firinda, served with layata, call it sweet potato. Mama is mkonzo from Kasese, and yet my father is the real cocktail. My paternal grandmother is a Nacholi, and my paternal grandfather is a Mtoro. I identify as a Mtoro from Kabarole, Rengoma village. You can tell I am a delicious tourist site. The theme Wanderlust is powerful. It means a strong desire to travel, explore, and discover the world. To us Ugandans, it should be about loving Uganda first and then making Uganda a place to visit. It is about protecting the places we want people to visit tomorrow. Tourism is again to be protected. In my small adventures across Uganda, I have seen the beautiful magic we must protect. Number 1, the flora and fauna. From the roaring falls of Makshon to zebras of Lake Mburu, Queen Elizabeth's lions, Chibale's chimpanzees, and the source of the Nile. I realized God was showing off while creating Uganda. Tourism survives where nature survives. Number 2, we must protect agro and ecotourism. While at Kainela Farms in Kayunga and the coffee park in Rwashamiri, I learned tourism can grow from gardens too. My 90-year-old great-grandfather, Mzee Yusuf Muhindo of Kagadi, farmed coffee and rice while protecting nature. Today, monkeys still live on his farm, proof that agro and ecotourism protects biodiversity and brings money. Number 3, Uganda must also protect its cultural heritage. Tourism is about languages, food, music, dance, and identity. I am a Katogo, blend of mixed cultures. Parents and communities must teach children to value traditions because culture is also a treasure that tourists come to experience. And lastly, protect regional friendships. I have visited Kenya, Tanzania, and Ethiopia. I learned that regional friendship grows tourism. When African countries work together, they do not just visit one country, they explore a whole region. Uganda is very special. I am told, Your Excellency, you always pack your own food while traveling abroad. Uganda is very special because it has the sweetest pineapples. Elsewhere, they taste like mururuza. Call it bitter leaf. As I conclude, this is my small journey of greening the Pearl of Africa. On 17th April 2025, I launched the 1 million tree planting initiative. With schools, churches, cultural institutions, NGOs, Rotary clubs, tourism partners, and roofing group, we have planted 540,000 trees across Uganda. But sadly, only 320,000 have survived. Tree planting and forest protection needs care, patriotism, resources, and community ownership. Your Excellency, my campaign contributes to the government of Uganda Roots Initiative, Running Out of Trees. I dream of 12 hours of National Tree Planting Day, whereas the whole Uganda will plant 64 million trees in 2026 to honor 64 years of independence and 40 years of the NRM leadership. Here is the simple math. If we plant 64 million trees, at least 40 million may survive. Uganda needs a day to stop, plant, and restore the green pearl. Therefore, to the government of Uganda and partners, thank you for the roads and security to national parks, to the investors for building beautiful hotels and lodges, for creating jobs for communities. When people earn, they protect wildlife better. That is true friendship between humans and animals. Shukran for supporting Ugandan social media influencers, photographers, and storytellers. Asante sana for the tourism festivals, marathons, and open park days. 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 9. It says, offer hospitality to one another without complaining. That hospitality is Ugandan strength. This makes us the Pearl of Africa. Thank you very much for God and my country, Uganda.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we appreciate Talia one more time? Your Excellency, it's been her very quiet prayer to take a picture with you. And today, this is what the Lord has done. So cameraman, if you can't give me this picture, we will have issues. This is going to be framed on her wall for life. This is something, Your Excellency, we want to thank you. We want to thank Mama Talia and the family for supporting her passion. She's a conservationist and she's a promoter of tourism, Your Excellency, and she does a great job marketing Uganda across the world. And I have seen her speak at various fora across the region where she's done a fantastic job. So ladies and gentlemen, once again, let's appreciate Talia. Thank you very much, Talia. Your Excellency, allow me recognize the representative of our Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Your Excellency, that continues to support our drive to promote destination Uganda, Ambassador Richard Kabonero, who's here representing the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. But also with us, Your Excellency, I mentioned key stakeholders that include, of course, the National Planning Authority. The Executive Director is here. Please stand for recognition. Is there. We have our very own CEO Emeritus and your Special Presidential Advisor on Tourism, Lilia Jarova. Please stand for recognition. Your Excellency, also your very own, and we really want to appreciate Ambassador Rosa Malango, your Special Trade and Tourism Envoy. Please stand for recognition. But also, Your Excellency, and I know she's on the board of UTB, but she's also, in her own right, the Deputy Director General of the Civil Aviation Authority, Olive Lumonia. We want to appreciate you for joining us. Your Excellency, as we proceed, I just wanted to make a couple of things before I invite the PS to speak. First is a special recognition to all the hosted buyers who've joined us, and we want to appreciate you. We know there's a delegation that just arrived that will be visiting the rest of the country later this week, but we also know that there is a couple of you that have been touring the country, and we want to appreciate you for sharing this conversation and promoting Destination Uganda across your various platforms. In a very special way, we want to appreciate the missions abroad that continue to support the Uganda Tourism Board and support the Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Authority. We want to thank in a very special way the associations, and at an opportune time when the President is back, I will recognize the UTM executive members who are here. It's a humble request from the President of UTA to recognize you, so His Excellency knows that every association is represented on the UTA board. We also want invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, to thank you for joining us for this, the Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo 2026. We want you to stay with us for the next 3 days, starting today, which is the opening session, and of course later with us tomorrow and the closing day when we will have a special edition of Poate right here at the lakeside. Your Excellency, on the request of the UTA President, Mama Yogi, allow me to request the UTA Executive to stand. The board members UTA, please stand for recognition. UTA, members of our Executive, please stand. Can we appreciate the UTA Executive? Thank you so much. We want to appreciate you. Your Excellency, the PS may not say this, but I know she's whispered this to you before. On behalf of the tourism influencers, and I am one of those, we have several. I think Derek Senyonyi has done a fantastic job. But also we have Uncle Mo in the house. Your Excellency, I also saw your Muzukuru, Jose Chameleon, walking in a short while ago. I know Jose is somewhere. He's available. But allow me request, and I know the PS may not say this, that at an opportune time in your program, we've shared this with your PPS, please find time with the influencers to visit one of the parks. And let's profile you visiting one of the parks. It would be nice to see you either in Murchison with the wonderful falls or Queen Elizabeth, and it could be Kidepo. I had someone whisper Kidepo, which is probably one of the most untapped parks we have. So Your Excellency, in your very busy schedule, find some few hours to visit one of the parks, so we allow the influencers join you to tour the parks. Thank you, Your Excellency. Can we appreciate His Excellency? So, Your Excellency, I'm now looking at the PPS. We are going to work on that. All right. With that, Your Excellency, allow me to invite the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities to come and make her remarks, and thereafter, Your Excellency, she will invite you to address us. You're welcome.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, honorable ministers, specifically our outgoing ministers, Honorable Tom Butime and Honorable Martin Mugara, members of the diplomatic corps, our own ambassadors and the ambassadors accredited to Uganda, tourism stakeholders and industry partners, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to you all and a very good afternoon. Your Excellency, allow me, on behalf of the Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities, its agencies, the private sector, and the entire tourism fraternity, to warmly welcome you to this 10th edition of the Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo. Please welcome the President. Your Excellency, it's the first time for you to be at this expo, and we are excited. Permit me also to extend our heartfelt congratulations to you upon your recent re-election and inauguration. Your renewed mandate, Your Excellency, is a stamp of approval and confidence by the people of Uganda in your stewardship, your vision, and your leadership of this country. Over the years, Your Excellency, your leadership has laid a firm foundation for the growth and transformation of the Uganda tourism industry. The peace and stability that Uganda enjoys today are the great assets upon which tourism thrives. Through your unwavering commitment to security, Uganda has become one of the safest and most stable destinations in the region. The pacification of previously insecure areas, the protection of our borders, and the continued investment in national security have enabled tourism to flourish across all the regions of this country. We also applaud your government, Your Excellency, for the commitment to health and safety. Uganda has demonstrated resilience and capability in responding to health challenges, including HIV/AIDS, COVID-19, and other global public health threats like Ebola. This confidence in Uganda's system strengthens our image as a reliable and safe destination for visitors and investors alike. Your Excellency, your focus on infrastructure development has equally transformed the tourism landscape of our country. The roads, the bridges, the airports, urban infrastructure, and digital connectivity are key imperatives for tourism growth, and Uganda has made tremendous progress under your leadership and will continue to do more. Today, tourism destinations across the country are more accessible than ever before. Investments in strategic roads, bridges, city infrastructure, and air transport are opening up new tourism circuits and reducing travel time for our visitors. We particularly appreciate your support towards the expansion of air connectivity through Uganda Airlines, which continues to strengthen Uganda's direct access to regional and international markets. The opening of new direct routes is not only facilitating travel, but also positioning Uganda as a strategic hub for tourism, trade, and investment. We are equally grateful for your leadership in advancing visa-free arrangements and travel facilitation initiatives with several African countries, the digitization of visa application processes and improvements in immigration systems are greatly enhancing the visitor experience and supporting intra-African travel. Your Excellency, I'm pleased to report that Uganda's tourism sector has registered remarkable recovery and growth following the global pandemic slowdown. The chairperson of the Tourism Board mentioned the statistics. I may not go into that, but tourism has recovered strongly and has now surpassed the pre-pandemic performance in several indicators. The sector is firmly on the right trajectory towards contributing meaningfully to Uganda's socio-economic transformation. Tourism continues to create jobs for our people, especially our young people, to empower communities, to generate foreign exchange, stimulate investment, conserve the environment, and support multiple sectors of the economy through its multiplier effect. Indeed, tourism remains one of the clearest demonstrations that conservation and economic development can work hand in hand. Your Excellency, the Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo brings together exhibitors, buyers, investors, media, tourism professionals from across the world. The CEO elaborated on this, the number of exhibitors we have, the number of buyers, the number of hosted buyers. I know you were not able to visit the exhibition, Your Excellency, but we had requested that the people behind the screens show you some images of what is happening at the Expo. And I hope that has been done. We warmly welcome our visitors who have traveled from far and wide to experience what Uganda has to offer. We look at each one of them not merely as visitors, but as ambassadors of Destination Uganda. We believe that after experiencing the Pearl of Africa, they will return home and inspire many others to come and discover our beauty, culture, wildlife, hospitality, and adventure. Ladies and gentlemen, we also recognize the importance of regional and domestic tourism. The East African region remains one of Uganda's tourism source markets, and we appreciate the spirit of cooperation and integration among our neighboring countries. Your Excellency, you have seen the delegation from Kenya, led by the PS of the Ministry of Tourism. We have delegations from Tanzania, and those are Rwanda, those are our biggest source markets. We commend the collaborative arrangements between Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, and Rwanda, aimed at boosting cross-border tourism traffic, developing multi-destination experiences, and strengthening regional marketing. These partnerships are critical because tourism today thrives not in isolation, but through cooperation, connectivity, and shared prosperity. Your Excellency, we further appreciate government's effort towards hosting international and continental events, such as the Non-Aligned Movement Summit and the G77, and now the preparations for the upcoming Africa Cup of Nations tournament. These events are unlocking enormous opportunities in conferences, exhibitions, sports tourism, hospitality, investment promotion, and destination visibility. They are showcasing Uganda to global audiences and strengthening our competitiveness as a meeting and events destination. As a tourism program, Your Excellency, we pledge to do even more. We commit ourselves to unlocking the full tourism potential of this country by strengthening coordination with all our program stakeholders, facilitating tourism development, incentivizing investment, improving standards, and supporting the development of internationally competitive attractions and experiences. We remain committed to building a tourism industry that is sustainable, inclusive, innovative, and globally competitive. Your Excellency, we draw confidence from your continued leadership and guidance as we position Uganda to become Africa's most preferred tourism destination. Before I conclude, Your Excellency, allow me to recognize leaders whose dedication and stewardship has shaped the growth of the sector and brought us this success. Today's occasion, Your Excellency, comes at a unique transitional moment following the dissolution of Cabinet after the inauguration of Your Excellency. However, there are individuals whose contribution to the tourism sector and to the growth of Poate deserves special recognition and acknowledgement. Allow me, Your Excellency, to ask Honorable Tom Butimi and Honorable Martin Mugara to stand up, and we give them a standing ovation. Thank you. For the last 5 years, Your Excellency, our ministers provided steadfast leadership and presided over the remarkable growth and transformation of the sector, as you have heard, and of Poate into one of the region's leading tourism and business platforms. They have walked this journey with us, supported destination marketing efforts, strengthened stakeholder collaboration, they have championed conservation, and they have witnessed Poate evolve into the flagship brand we celebrate today. And we want to use this opportunity to thank you for giving us this great team of ministers. It is now my honor and privilege, Your Excellency, once again to welcome you, but now to welcome and request you to officially launch the 10th Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo.
Okay, sit down, please. The Honorable Ministers, Permanent Secretary, all the other leaders, and the guests, the visitors. On behalf of Uganda, I welcome all of you who are here. Thank you so much for coming. I want to start by giving you some few hints on science, because I noticed there's a lot of panic created by people who don't know science very much about Ebola. I was watching CNN spreading fear through ignorance. Ebola is much easier to control than corona. Corona was one of the biggest problems in the world, one of the most dangerous pandemics. Why? Because it was spreading through breathing. We sit in the same bus, even if I am some meters away, you can infect me. We sit in the same room, you can infect me with corona. That's why corona was very, very dangerous. And Uganda was the most country the most successful country in the whole world, I think, in controlling corona. We lost very few people, about 200 or something like that. You can check how many people other countries lost, because many of the countries are not serious in fighting a disease. Here we controlled it with very few losses. Now, therefore, Ebola is nothing compared to corona. Ebola spreads by intimate contact. Mufachina abantu mbavueko mbakwata baki. Tumukwatako mutunule butunuzi. Contact, intimate contact. That's how Ebola spreads. And even then, somebody infected by Ebola is not infective all the time. It is only when the symptoms start showing that he or she starts being able to infect other people. And that is like after 5 days or 10 days. The whole period, I think they are saying that the incubation period is like 21 days. So therefore, stop shaking hands. I normally don't like shaking hands, and this is a very good excuse. Now I just wave at you. Shaking hands for what? What do you want to do for me? Nkulabye Kimara. Then I saw somebody panicking, even somebody who was supposed to be a minister somewhere was speaking that person was a minister also, but speaking ignorantly. If you report Ebola early, it is treatable. Why? Because you counter the damages that Ebola causes to you. Because Ebola kills by, number one, high fever. High fever, which damages your organs. So therefore, the doctors can control the fever. Can control the fever if it is reported in time. Then vomiting and so on causes dehydration. So early intervention, you rehydrate. You rehydrate the patient. Somebody who is infected can actually be treated by countering the effects of Ebola. So therefore, and then the CNN was saying DRC and Uganda. I don't know why my daughter Kagwa, you have not countered that. This was mainly DRC. All these people, the 500 or whatever number, then the ones who have died, they are saying 130 or something like that. All of them are on the Congo side mainly. And then one who died here in the Chiburi hospital had come from Congo. And then another one who is, I think, sick in Nakasero. There are few people. So the correct description of the outbreak is that it is mainly in Congo, but with a few people who came from Congo who came here. Now, when I met with the task force, we didn't agree with the panic of closing the border and all that. Because if people are coming illegally, we can manage them. First of all, if we work with the Congo government and tell them that anybody who has got a fever, please don't travel. Anybody with a fever, don't travel. Stay in your location and report to the health authorities. Then at the border, we check the temperatures in the bus, in the cars, we check the temperatures. And then we guide everybody, even when you're already here, if you get sick, you report immediately to the health center. We shall control it. I've told our people to look at the airline, because people were talking about Uganda airline. The vice president will chair a meeting and guide you. The one thing that should stop are the markets near the border, because those are very indisciplined. I hear there was a big market in Toroko, where the Ugandans and the Congolese were busy mixing up. Those should be suspended. The vice president and the head of civil service and the PS health will guide you. So otherwise, this is really very easy to deal with. It's not a big problem. And we have always dealt with it very easily. It's very easy to deal with. So please, educate CNN. And even some of the governments need education. I hear some of the governments panicking, giving this and that. Tell them that you saw a teacher who can help them at no cost to themselves. Now, coming to tourism. First of all, I must criticize your shelter here. And this one here. Because these canvases, are they canvas or what? These plastics, what? Where you put my visitors, they are distorting our heritage. They amplify heat. You are now roasting my people. Inside this tent here, that's terrible. Should not. Okay, it stops the rain, but I hope the visitors get out and really feel the air properly. We need to resolve this issue, this shelter. Maybe we should build a permanent shelter here with the right material, but not this canvas. Is it canvas or what? This? Ebipira ebyo biyita biki? Ebipira abamanyi Oluganda mbiyita biki? Abamanyi Oluzungu. Our master of ceremonies, what is this? Is it canvas or what?
Your Excellency, canvas could also work, but this is a tarpaulin. So it's...
But made of very bad material, which captures heat.
Yes, Your Excellency.
So please, this is not real Uganda, this is a distortion. Get out and feel the real air, you will feel it's very... Outside that furnace, the temperature is what? Somebody should go and get us the real temperature outside. And then come and get the temperature in the furnace there. That's a furnace. People are being roasted. I'm roasting here. Anyway, that is, I thought I should point it out. Now, for tourism promoters, I want to tell you that Uganda is unique. There are only 3 points on the globe, Uganda and 2 others, which are like this. Why is Uganda unique? It is unique because we are right on the equator. That airport where you landed is 200 meters north of the equator. The equator passes 200 meters from the end of the runway on the southern side. So we get the sun all the year round. But our altitude is high. Normally when I travel to the world, I get very worried. When I land in New York, I look at the computer of my plane, and they say I am 18 feet above sea level. Ooh! I don't sleep in the hotel, because I get worried that the ocean may come and swallow me. But here where you are 1,000 something, maybe 1,200 meters above the sea, here. And this is middle level. You can show them the highest point of Uganda, which is 5,000 meters. Put it on the screen if you have it. The Rwenzori Mountains, put it there. Mubadiki, mwebase? They will get it. So, the lowest part of Uganda, which is in the Rift Valley, is 600 something meters above sea level. And the highest, as I've said, is 5,000 plus meters above the sea level. And therefore, all the year round, our temperatures are very mild. In some parts of Uganda, they actually, it's quite, that is, freeze it there, freeze it. Don't think those are the Alps in Europe. That's Uganda. Freeze it, keep it there. This is what amazed the first European, one of the first Europeans who came here, Henry Morton Stanley. He was amazed, couldn't know that there was snow right on the equator. And this is the uniqueness of Uganda. On the equator, with the high altitude. The only other parts of the world which are like this are a part of Kenya. There's a part of Kenya which is near Mount Kenya, which is like this one. And also there's a country in South America. What do you call it? There's a country in South America. I've never been there, but I see it on the map. I think it may be like here. It's called Ecuador. Ecuador, I suspect that country may be like Uganda here. So when you say come to Uganda, other than these people who have put you in a furnace, what they call, I don't know what you call it. Here you don't have to warm the air, you don't have to cool it, you just enjoy it the way it is. If you come to State House, the houses where government houses, there's air conditioning there, but I have never used it. Never used it. The machines are, I don't think they're even working, because I never use air conditioning. So that is point number one. It's these are three unique parts of the world. In Tanzania, there's also another place called, but that is a bit south of the equator. It's not exactly on the equator, it's a bit south, called Kilimanjaro. Near the equator, not very far. But the ones direct on the equator, it is a part of Kenya, Uganda, and Ecuador. Otherwise, the equator, for most of the time, passes through low-lying parts of the world, like the Amazon. I hear those people who have been to the Amazon, it's very humid, very hot. The Congo Basin, part of Congo, very hot, very humid. I was in the Philippines once, very humid. The equator passes there. And then in the ocean, most of the time the equator passes in the ocean. So when we say our friend Winston Churchill, when he wrote that statement in 1907, he was amazed. He had never seen anything like this in his life. And Churchill was a wanderer. He was a permanent traveler. So he was amazed. That's number one. The uniqueness of Uganda. There's nothing. When I travel, it's a sacrifice. I really sacrifice to leave Uganda to go and visit other places. I don't want to leave Uganda for any. Me, I am over here and for here. I am always here. And these days I had the trouble. But secondly, if you are looking for the original Africans, here they are, who are very much isolated. The first non-black person we saw here was in 1841. You can imagine, it's not just 200 years ago. This is the first time we saw a person called Arab. Umorabu, Gutosoka Kulabawano, was a man called Ibrahim from Zanzibar. Our people had never seen a non-black person. They were amazed. They didn't know that there were white people in the world. And then the first white man to come here was Huntington Speke, who came in 1862. So our interaction with the world is recent. And if you are looking for the Africans who still have African ways, here they are. You have seen some of these girls here, how beautiful they look, who are speaking there. The ones who are speaking, the directors and the permanent, so those are the real. You saw them, didn't you see them? That is made in Uganda original. Now, that goes with the culture, the languages. The languages are very rich. That's why I had to write a book capturing some of these languages, called something, I've forgotten what they call it, some sort of dictionary, capturing some of these languages. Because like when I go to foreign countries and you find something called tomato juice. Juice. How can tomato be a juice? Tomato is not a juice. These people don't know how life is. Tomato cannot have a juice. Tomato is mboga. How can mboga have juice? Ombisi. But these people think it is juice. Ombisi. And this is because of the language. Because for us, we have got a word for vegetable, we've got a word for juice, ombisi, we've got a word for fruits. The only thing that can produce juice are bananas, maybe sugarcane, fruits can, the mango, oranges, but tomatoes, okushuma, mashing, as opposed to okunyuka. Abaganda okunyuka bakwita batya mu Luganda? Okukola bakiyita batya? Okusogola omwenge, bakiyita kusogola. Sikwe kusogola. Abaganda baliwo oba bagwawo bannange. Omuganda ddala ali ludda wa? Guno ogusajja Uganda guno.
Your Excellency. Kwe kusogola.
Kwe kusogola. Okusogola cannot be the ate mashing okushuma mukuyita mutya okushuma. Mashing. So, the languages, culture. Then you come to the foods. This Africa can save the world from bad foods. The young girl was talking about pineapples. When I went to Washington, they brought something called pineapple. But when I put it in the mouth, I could feel the urea. Umuhembero, banange. Chichigambo chiri awo nacho. I could feel I said, where is this tomato coming, this pineapple that is from Hawaii? Small but full of I think, chemicals, fertilizers, but here the foods are so rich, so original. I am now going to be 82 years old. I only eat our indigenous food. I never eat any, I don't eat rice. You are the ones who eat rice. I eat our own food. So it's very important to inform the world. If you take like millet, millet is the richest food in life, apart from milk, of course. You remember Mata? I'm going to go Galiao. Because millet is a cereal which has got a lot of protein, a lot of carbohydrate, but also iron. If you look at rice, you look at wheat, I don't think they have that combination. So therefore, when we are inviting, we are now coming also to the issue of medicine. Our young people who grow up in the villages, seeing what their parents were doing, many of them have gone to modern universities. They are highly qualified scientists. And they have found a lot of, they have modernized what we have been using traditionally, and it's very, very effective. You'll be getting more stories about that. So therefore, when we are talking of Uganda as a tourism destination, it is for comfort. If you want to live comfortably, the only irritant has been the mosquito, these insects, but we know how to control them. I'm sure here you don't see any mosquito here because we can kill them. We don't have to be there. Otherwise, it's very comfortable to live here. Then the culture, the food, and now, as the PS was saying, we have added the peace in the country, and law and order. So therefore, it's good that you have come. I need to tell you for Kagwa with her group. We are already a middle-income country. We are a lower middle-income country. So we are not struggling to become a middle-income country. We are already a lower middle-income country. The struggle now is to make it a high middle-income country in the next few years and a first world country in the medium term. That's what we are struggling with. And it is easy for us, other than sleeping. But I needed to inform our visitors that these Ugandans are fond of sleeping. Be careful about them. Beaucoup dormir, they say in Francais. Beaucoup dormir. They sleep a lot. Life is so easy here. Here, fools don't die. In other parts of the country, fools will die. But here you will get a fool who doesn't do any work, going and eating from his relatives. He's there. He doesn't die. So life is easy here. Some of the people don't work hard. But the potential is so huge. Our economy has got 4 sectors. Sector 1 is commercial agriculture. Our people are very good in agriculture, but they have been doing agriculture for home consumption, what they call subsistence. For the last 60 years, I have been involved in persuading the people near me to go from subsistence farming to commercial farming, produce for the home, for the food, and also for the pocket. And do so with the Chibaro. The Chibaro is the essence of economics. So agriculture is very lucrative here. Then you have got manufacturing. Now, tourism is in services. Tourism, professional services, transport, all those, music and entertainment, all those are part of the services sector. And then the ICT. So therefore, by you coming here, you will help us to advance our economy to high, middle income level status and first world country. Because of the colonial fragmentation, the borders are not rational. You find there's a lot of landlocked countries in Africa because of the colonial borders. But that's why politically we've been working with our neighbors, Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, Congo, South Sudan, Somalia, to reassemble this part of the world and the whole of Africa into one market. That's why you heard us playing two anthems. One anthem is Uganda anthem, the other one is East African anthem. East African community anthem. That's why you had us playing two anthems. We are very conscious. We've been working to remove the distortions of colonialism. I told you that we did not have much contact with the non-Africans until 1841. But our ancestors had contact with the coast. People from Zanzibar, through Bagamoyo, through Tabora, through Karagwe, we are coming here. Since time immemorial, excavation work has shown some items which were imported here in 900 AD from Mesopotamia, what is now Iraq. This was because of the trade between the coast and the hinterland, the internal part of Africa. So we have been working to reassemble that connected trading area. And it is helping us because many of the products we produce, the internal market in Uganda is not enough. We sell them in the region and in the whole of Africa. So therefore, in the new government, I would advise them to make it easier for the tourists to come, and because apparently one of the, I don't know why, they have been giving short visas of 3 months. But the Americans complained, say, we give you a visa of 3 years, that the Americans give us a visa of 3 years, and you give them of only 3 months. Why? What are you worried about? Give him of 3 years multiple entry visa. Let him go, come back if he wants. As long as he's paying his bills, are you worried about his pocket? What is your concern? He will not come without money. He will come with money to pay for his bills. So these short visas are not, I don't know why you people are insisting on them. We are going to discuss that. Now finally, I will happily go to the park with you people. Just organize. I'll come and join you. With these few words, what do I do? I declare what now?
Your Excellency, you're officially opening the Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo.
I officially open the Pearl of Africa Expo. Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, can we warmly receive His Excellency's remarks, ladies and gentlemen? Your Excellency, if you can sit for a minute, and I know you have another program. Let's sit, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, we have some special guests, and I want them just to come in front so you can see them, because you will even love the way they are dressed. Our Pan-African cultural delegation, the cultural leaders from the Pan-African Society, please come. Delegation from South Africa, from Ghana, from Eswatini, of course from our very own Uganda, Costa Rica, the United Kingdom, and Barbados. Please come. You look lovely. I want His Excellency to see you. So he knows we have special guests from across the world. Your Excellency, they're here to commemorate the World Cultural Day that will be happening tomorrow as part of a bigger delegation. And so we want to receive them, members of the cultural leaders, Pan-African Society. Please, we'll stay near here. Let's not go too far. We want His Excellency to see you so you can spread out. Your Excellency, these are your people from across the world: South Africa, Barbados, United Kingdom, Ghana, Costa Rica, Eswatini, and of course Uganda. Your Excellency, these are our visitors. Thank you very much. You can now take your seats. All right, so we'll allow for this to happen, a special moment guided by His Excellency the President. Your Excellency, as I mentioned, these are here for the World Cultural Day as part of the delegation of cultural leaders, members of the Pan-African Society. They will be commemorating the World Cultural Day here with our cultural leaders tomorrow, and we want to welcome them to the Pearl of Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, can we once again appreciate our cultural leaders? Your Excellency, thank you for the science on Ebola. Ugandans who are watching on Uganda Broadcasting Corporation live, and we will spread your message. We will share with CNN the facts of Ebola, and we want to appreciate you, Your Excellency, again for sharing the facts on Ebola, and we want to appreciate you. And so, Your Excellency, since we're already having the photos, may I invite the tourism management team led by the PS and the former ministers to come. The PS and the former ministers, please come. Those include our commissioners and the director of tourism. Please come very quickly. Director Aja, Commissioner Liazi. We have the undersecretary in the Ministry of Tourism. The very first photo with, of course, Juliana and her chair. That's the very first photo. Please do not move until I've asked you to come for the photo. So the entire M2 team, the senior management team that include the PS, the former ministers, the Director of Tourism, Aja, and the commissioners, Liazi, and the Undersecretary, Seremba. Please, only the executive team. I see also the member, we have UA, and of course the Uganda Hotel. Richard, I thought you would be joining them. Richard Kawere, and of course the Wildlife Research Institute, or is it college? Yes, you should be joining them. Your Excellency, this is the tourism fraternity, your ministry team, the executive tourism team, yes, executive tourism team that includes the former ministers, the PS and her team. These are the directors of the different institutions, and this is the tourism photo. Please do stand by for that photo. The next photo is the UTB board. The UTB board team, please stand and come closer. We need to make sure that the board members are here. So UTB board, please come. We need to make sure that the board, only the board members of UTB, Uganda Tourism Board, the board, Uganda Tourism Board. Wait, yes. Uganda Tourism Board. The Uganda Tourism Board, yes. Uganda Tourism Board. Thank you, M2 team. So the tourism executive will leave and we'll have the board members, only the board members with their chair and Juliana, plus the honorable ministers and the PS. So the executive team, you can leave. We'll keep the PS and the ministers there and allow the board members. So board members now join. Board members, the former ministers will stay, the PS will stay, the chair, UTB will stay, and Juliana will stay. The board members, Liaz is still a board member, so he has to stay. And now may I request, and it's for protocol purposes, please note we are following Ebola protocols. Do not shake hands. And I want to request the following members of the executive of the tourism fraternity. May I invite the UTA president? The UTA president, this is the last photo. The UTA president, Yogi, Mr. Peter Mwanje, Secretary General UTA, Kato Issa, Vice President, Mona Lisa Aman, the Treasurer UTA, Professor Edwin Sebuhoro, Technical Advisor, Ms. CV Tumusime, Chairperson Auto, Canon Susan Muwezi, Chairperson Uhoa, Boniface Biamukama, Chairperson Estoa, Herbert Biarahanga, Chairperson Usaga, and Ms. Kemirembe Jacqueline, Chairperson AUWOT. Ms. Yogi Birigwa, UTA President, Kato Issa, the Vice President UTA, Peter Mwanja, the Secretary General UTA, Mona Lisa Aman, Treasurer UTA, Professor Edwin Sebuhoro, Technical Advisor, Ms. CV, yes, Tumusime Robert Sentale, yes, Canon Susan Muwezi, Chairperson Uhoa, Boniface Biamukama, Chairperson Estoa, Jean Biamugisha Uhoa, and Kemireme Jacqueline. That's it. So can we, Your Excellency, this is the final photo. With your permission, I had several requests. Jean, let Jean join. Yeah, she's the last person. Your Excellency, they're just the last two ladies. Your Excellency, this is it, and of course, with your permission, I'm led by protocol. We would have requested for more pictures. We have the visiting delegations, but unfortunately, we can't. We also have the filmmakers they had requested, so we appreciate. Thank you very much, members of the board. Your Excellency will have the anthems in reverse order shortly. So when His Excellency has returned to his seat, we'll have the anthems. And then may I now request we be upstanding, ladies and gentlemen, for the anthems. We'll have the anthems shortly in reverse order. And Your Excellency, once again, on behalf of the Uganda Tourism Board and the Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities, we want to thank you for joining us for this 10th edition of the Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo. Anthems, please. Thank you once again, Your Excellency. Ladies and gentlemen, can we warmly appreciate His Excellency the President? We want to thank you, Your Excellency, for joining us for this, our 10th edition. On behalf of the Uganda Tourism Board, thank you so much. Thank you for coming, Your Excellency. We welcome you, ladies and gentlemen, to join us and visit the various exhibitions. We have 3 exhibition areas, one here in the main tent, and the other at the main conference hall, plus the main tent at the flag mast area. Those 3 exhibition areas are open, and we want to welcome you, our delegates, to visit the exhibition areas. And on behalf of the Uganda Tourism Board, we want to thank you, Your Excellency. We want to thank the Ministry of Tourism. We want to thank the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Ministry of Finance for supporting Destination Uganda, Explore Uganda, and the Visit Uganda campaign spearheaded by the Ministry of Tourism and the Uganda Wildlife Authority and all the key stakeholders, including Uganda Airlines, and of course, our very own, the host, Uganda Tourism Board. If we could take our seats, ladies and gentlemen, if we could take our seats. Thank you, Crane Performers. They will entertain us. Please do take your seats. Just a couple of announcements, because it's important. I need to let you know where the lunch is, so you need to sit, right? So a couple of things will happen. One is the film session. Please note that your session will continue after lunch. The heads of delegation, you're joining the Honorable Minister, you're visiting the exhibitions. The Honorable Minister and the PS will be visiting the exhibition areas. So we invite the heads of delegation to join the Honorable Ministers and of course the PS in visiting the various stalls. And we want to invite you to visit the exhibition areas. Lunch is served at the Sunset Pavilion or the Sunset area. And the coupons are available. The ushers have the coupons on your way to the Sunset. There should be someone to give you a coupon. The film session continues after lunch. So from lunch, the panel and delegates can join the film team and continue your session. We invite you to look at the agenda of the entire program of Poate that continues tomorrow and concludes on Saturday, where we will have this area with a special edition on fashion, film, sport, poolside. Yes, lunch is at the poolside. Apologies. Lunch is at the poolside. All right, so film, yes. You want to announce something? Royal Palm Hall. Yes, the film session is at the Royal Palm Hall. That will be immediately after lunch. So let's say about 3:45. I'll give you an hour for lunch. We want to thank you all, members of the delegations. We want to thank our stakeholders and partners, the development partners, Your Excellencies, the High Commissioners, Your Excellencies, the Ambassadors, Your Excellencies, the heads of different delegations that are here, visiting delegations. We want to thank you so much. And Poate is officially open. We welcome you to visit the stalls. We welcome you to join us for the various sessions, including tomorrow and on Saturday. We welcome you to visit the exhibition areas. And now we welcome you to lunch at the poolside. On behalf of the Uganda Tourism Board, we welcome you to the Pearl of Uganda. God bless.
Every waking day is a reminder just how beautiful this, our land, truly is. The kind of beauty that you can only find here. In the lush green all around us and the wondrous sights within. It's what you feel in the gentle caress of tropical wind from the mountaintops. And the glow in your heart from a warm neighborly invite. distinct aroma of our cooking to the taste of food that takes you on a journey. In the sound of homecoming and the sound of Mother Earth. In the magnificence we find on our travels and the exciting moments we experience. Ours is the kind of beauty that comes in all things big and small. All we have to do is awaken our senses and truly enjoy what's uniquely ours. Explore Uganda, the pearl of Africa.
Welcome to the Pearl of Africa, where adventure meets opportunity. This is Uganda, a destination whose natural wonders, cultural richness, and growing modern infrastructure serve as a bedrock for extraordinary economic opportunities. With a proud history of hosting global meetings, incentives, conferences, and events, Uganda offers everything you need for a successful gathering. Explore vast conference centers, intimate and eco-conscious meeting venues, perfectly tailored for collaboration. Delegates to Uganda enjoy more than just business. They are treated to moments of pure indulgence with luxurious accommodations, refined dining that fuses global cuisine with local flavor, and world-class wellness retreats. Adventure awaits among Uganda's majestic wildlife. Picture yourself face to face with the magnificent mountain gorillas, or journey through iconic national parks where lions lounge in acacia trees. Recharge with the aroma of freshly brewed coffee or the refreshing breeze rolling across lush tea plantations. Here, culture is not just observed, it is lived and shared. For those driven by innovation, Uganda offers fast-growing industries paving the way for sustainable development. Unwind on award-winning golf courses. Pamper yourself in serene spas. Make an impact while safeguarding this beautiful destination.
Meet, connect, explore. In Uganda, your premium MICE destination.
Blessing I ever get from the spiritual of the Nile. And thank you, Uganda.
Every waking day is a reminder just how beautiful this, our land, truly is. The kind of beauty that you can only find here. In the lush green all around us and the wondrous sights within. It's what you feel in the gentle caress of tropical wind from the mountaintops, and the glow in your heart from a warm neighborly invite. It's in the distinct aroma of our cooking, to the taste of food that takes you on a journey. In the sound of homecoming and the sound of Mother Earth. In the magnificence we find on our travels and the exciting moments we experience. Ours is the kind of beauty that comes in all things big and small. All we have to do is awaken our senses and truly enjoy what's uniquely ours. Explore Uganda, the Pearl of Africa.
Welcome to the Pearl of Africa, where adventure meets opportunity. This is Uganda, a destination whose natural wonders, cultural richness, and growing modern infrastructure serve as a bedrock for extraordinary economic opportunities. With a proud history of hosting global meetings, incentives, conferences, and events, Uganda offers everything you need for a successful gathering. Explore vast conference centers, intimate and eco-conscious meeting venues, perfectly tailored for collaboration. Delegates to Uganda enjoy more than just business. They are treated to moments of pure indulgence with luxurious accommodations, refined dining that fuses global cuisine with local flavor, and world-class wellness retreats. Adventure awaits among Uganda's majestic wildlife. Picture yourself face to face with the magnificent mountain gorillas, or journey through iconic national parks where lions lounge in acacia trees. Recharge with the aroma of freshly brewed coffee or the refreshing breeze rolling across lush tea plantations. Here, culture is not just observed, it is lived and shared. For those driven by innovation, Uganda offers fast-growing industries, paving the way for sustainable development. Unwind on award-winning golf courses. Pamper yourself in serene spas. Make an impact while safeguarding this beautiful destination.
Meet, connect, explore. In Uganda, your premium MICE destination.
blessing I ever get from the spiritual of the Nile. And thank you, Uganda.
Every waking day is a reminder just how beautiful this, our land, truly is. The kind of beauty that you can only find here. In the lush green all around us and the wondrous sights within. It's what you feel in the gentle caress of tropical wind from the mountaintops. And the glow in your heart from a warm neighborly invite. It's in the distinct aroma of our cooking, to the taste of food that takes you on a journey. In the sound of homecoming and the sound of Mother Earth. In the magnificence we find on our travels and the exciting moments we experience. Ours is the kind of beauty that comes in all things big and small. All we have to do is awaken our senses and truly enjoy what's uniquely ours. Explore Uganda, the Pearl of Africa.
Welcome to the Pearl of Africa, where adventure meets opportunity. This is Uganda, a destination whose natural wonders, cultural richness, and growing modern infrastructure serve as a bedrock for extraordinary economic opportunities. With a proud history of hosting global meetings, incentives, conferences, and events, Uganda offers everything you need for a successful gathering. Explore vast conference centers, intimate and eco-conscious meeting venues, perfectly tailored for collaboration. Delegates to Uganda enjoy more than just business. They are treated to moments of pure indulgence with luxurious accommodations, refined dining that fuses global cuisine with local flavor, and world-class wellness retreats. Adventure awaits among Uganda's majestic wildlife. Picture yourself face to face with the magnificent mountain gorillas, or journey through iconic national parks where lions lounge in acacia trees. Recharge with the aroma of freshly brewed coffee or the refreshing breeze rolling across lush tea plantations. Here, culture is not just observed, it is lived and shared. For those driven by innovation, Uganda offers fast-growing industries, paving the way for sustainable development. Unwind on award-winning golf courses. Pamper yourself in serene spas. Make an impact while safeguarding this beautiful destination.
Meet, connect, explore. In Uganda, your premium MICE destination.
This is the most and the best blessing I ever get from the spiritual of the Nile. And thank you, Uganda.
Every waking day is a reminder just how beautiful this, our land, truly is. The kind of beauty that you can only find here. In the lush green all around us and the wondrous sights within. It's what you feel in the gentle caress of tropical wind from the mountaintops. And the glow in your heart from a warm neighborly invite. It's in the distinct aroma of our cooking to the taste of food that takes you on a journey. In the sound of homecoming and the sound of Mother Earth. In the magnificence we find on our travels and the exciting moments we experience. Ours is the kind of beauty that comes in all things big and small. All we have to do is awaken our senses and truly enjoy what's uniquely ours. Explore Uganda, the pearl of Africa.
Ekibitukutulla